Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the Fortnite Legendary Series Valkyrie action figure. This is a 6-inch action figure that came out in 2019, made by Jazwares, based on the Fortnite game by Epic Games. And I bought this in the store in 2020. I remember specifically buying this one because as I picked it up, there was a rattling noise. So fortunately there was this window box where I was able to look inside and find out what the rattling noise was, and it turned out that one of these face plates had been knocked loose and was rattling around inside the package. So after examining it and determining what the problem was, I decided to make the purchase because I could see inside the package. I could see what was going on. So window boxes are much better for action figures, and if there's no window, I'm probably not going to bother buying the action figure. So here we have a nice window box where we can see the action figure and the accessories. Here is the top. The window wraps up to the top to let in more light. Here is the bottom with some manufacturing information. Here is one side where the window wraps around to the side. Here is the other side. The window wraps around to this side. Nice picture of Valkyrie. Here is the back with a nice picture of Valkyrie from the game and Valkyrie's quote, "Chilling revelation." And Valkyrie is part of the Series 2 of the Legendary Series. I have reviewed the other action figures in this Series 2. So I will open this up and review this action figure in just a moment. Here are the accessories that come with a Valkyrie action figure, and I have all three faceplates here. Now this is the one that was attached to the action figure in the package, and this was the one that was actually rattling around inside the package. It had fallen off of the action figure itself. So the face looks nice. Actually all the faces look very, very similar to each other. So these two were still in the action figure tray and they were not rattling around, so I was mistaken. And here's the back bling. Not really a backpack, so it looks like a set of translucent bat-like wings or something. So looks nice. So it fits into the peg hole in the back of the action figure. And then we get a piece of cake. So another interesting little food item with a slot underneath to fit in the fingers of the action figure. And then we get the harvesting tool. So I really like this one a lot. So it looks very useful. It looks like an actual axe or a battle axe or something. So very nicely sculpted. Has some painting on it. So I like this one. This is useful for displays or dioramas in kind of a fantasy or medieval setting. And then here's one of the guns. So I think we've seen this one before. So nicely sculpted and painted. And then another kind of machine gun or assault rifle or something. So looks interesting. I don't think we've gotten one of these before with the ammunition clip in the back there like that. But this is also nicely sculpted and has some painting on it. So this looks nice. A nice selection of accessories with this action figure. Here is the Valkyrie action figure, and I do have to hold this action figure because I'm having way too much trouble getting this action figure to stand on its own, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But normally this action figure would stand a little more than 6 inches tall, maybe 6 1/4, well, up to the horn, maybe almost 6.5 inches. So that's about 15 or 16 centimeters tall. So let's take a look at the action figure. Now the faceplate might fall off because it's a little hard to get it to stay in place. It comes out very, very easily, and I think it's because we cannot get it to really click into place here or stay plugged in because of this extra hair piece around the head. So it prevents us from really pushing the faceplate in until it clicks. The hair just won't allow it to go all the way in, so I think it'll fall out very easily. That's why it was rattling around in the package. So the face looks alright, and the hair piece looks alright. Here's some shoulder pads, kind of rubbery shoulder pads, and they move out of the way of the arm for the articulation. You know, lots of nice extra decoration on the forearms here. So they put a lot of work into the details. So nice body piece there, and then here's kind of a skirt piece, nicely sculpted skull there, and sort of a furry skirt piece, or maybe some leather strips here, and it's a bit open on this side here for a little bit of articulation. And here's a weapon, kind of a, well, not a straight edged dagger, but more of a swirly or wavy dagger, but it is not removable. Some nice armor decoration on the thighs here, and on the lower legs here. There are the boots. The peg holes on the bottom there at the heel. They still have more detail on the back, so they paid attention to all sides of the action figure. Here looks like a bit of fur. I think it's not the hair. I think this is the hair part. So certainly looks nice. They put a lot of effort into it. You know, lots of soft, pliable plastic. Although it's not quite soft enough or pliable enough down here, and we'll see why in just a moment. So we do have, let's take a look at the articulation here. With the head, a little hard to get it to move, look up more than that because of the hair. Kind of a pliable plastic, but it's still too thick. We can look down a bit more, but the face comes off very easily. I'll just keep it on. Looks a little ugly there. Almost looks like a Cyclops with that big hole in the middle there. So we can turn side to side. No tilting. So the shoulders go out that much. The shoulder pads get out of the way there, so that's good. Just a little bit of ratcheting. It can go around. It gets blocked by the shoulder pad, but it still works. We have bicep cuts, where it'll turn at the bicep there. And double jointed elbows move in a lot, so that's good. I like that. And the wrists will turn. They'll turn. We have hinges at the wrists, and then finger articulation. So that works. We have a diaphragm cut where it seems to crunch back or move back more. It doesn't seem to go forward very much. Goes around. We do have a waist cut that does turn, so that's good. And here, I think we can do some splits. That clicks a little bit and goes out. It could go more, I think, but the skirt piece is in the way here. So there's ratcheted joints there. This one, can't really get it to go out. If I pull really hard, something's going to break. Either the leg's going to break or the skirt's going to rip. So we don't really have much articulation there. We do have an upper thigh cut, which does turn on both legs. So at least that works. And then double jointed knees. That works. And then there's no boot cut. Now, the next part here is where the biggest problem is. That really annoys me the most, and it's the ankles. Now it seems like there's a little peg, the way it's assembled, there's a little peg so we can actually turn the whole foot on each side. But there's also a hinge. There's a hinge that's supposed to allow up and down movement, but it seems like it's got misaligned between the ankle and the foot, so the hinge is actually turned to the side, and the hinges are actually pretty stiff. They can't get them to work. So if you're trying to move the ankles up and down, you really don't want to push too hard because you'll break it. It's not lined up correctly, and I have not been able to get it straightened out. It takes a little bit of work to get my fingers in there to hold the hinge in place and get the foot turned. I haven't been able to do that yet. So I'm very unhappy about that. And I really want the hinges to be lined up straight so that the ankles move up and down. That way I can position the feet better so I can actually get this to stand. So I think there is ankle pivot, or it's the hinge or something. So I have not been able to get that straightened out at the ankles. Now there's toe articulation. So because of the problems with the hinges, and I just can't seem to get them straightened out yet, I can't get this action figure to really stand. Now maybe if I can get one of those extra action figure stands, I can put the back bling on, or the wings, and let's put her face back on. And if I can get one of those action figure stands, I can maybe put Valkyrie in a flying position. Then I won't have to worry about the feet. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be able to get this action figure to stand unless I can get these joints straightened out properly. But it's in a tight little area and kind of hard to get to. So that is my very biggest disappointment. The faceplate, I might have been able to think of something like a little temporary piece of putty to hold it in place, but the ankles, I'm very unhappy about the ankles and not being able to get this action figure to stand. Here is Valkyrie next to a pair of 4-inch action figures, and it's too bad I really can't get Valkyrie to stand, but even kneeling down, Valkyrie's maybe just a tiny bit taller than the 4-inch action figures. On the right is the Adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago, and on the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure from Jazwares. Here is Valkyrie next to a pair of 6-inch action figures. On the right is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger, and on the left is the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic action figure. Both of those are made by Hasbro. Here is Valkyrie next to a pair of 7-inch action figures. On the left is the DC Multiverse Green Lantern Kyle Rayner by McFarlane Toys. And on the right is the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. And I think Valkyrie would go well with the Masters of the Universe action figure. It seems to fit in with the techno fantasy theme that the Masters of the Universe has. Here we have Valkyrie next to the other action figures from the Fortnite Legendary Series 2 action figures by Jazwares. We have Jonesy, DJ Yonder, Valkyrie, Tomato Head, Abstract, and Leviathan. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for Valkyrie is just not very good at all. I'm very unhappy with this particular action figure. You know, this face just keeps falling off way too easily. Now that's probably a result of this rubbery hair piece, but it's still very annoying. And the worst part are the ankles that are just not lined up straight. so I can't get this action figure to even stand. So it looks alright, it looks pretty cool, but I still want it to function correctly. The only thing that saves it is maybe the wings that we can just plug into the back here, and then get an action figure stand to make it look like Valkyrie is flying. So maybe that's the only thing that saves it. So the rating is at the bottom. I would just want to smash this thing. However, I just don't want to break it any more than it's defective. So symbolically, I'm smashing this action figure. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.